Around 6 months ago, I got my hands on Battlebit Remastered for the first time through a developer playtest. It was a fun-looking indie game that I thought, yeah, you know what, this could be fun for a few hours, why not? Well, little did I know what was actually cooking here, which was quite possibly the best FPS that we're going to see in 2023, and a game that I would come to love. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today I wanted to give you all an update on Battlebit Remastered and where it's at in the lead up to 2023. Now, right out of the gate here, I want to highlight some very good news for the game that has emerged since the last time we did a news piece on it, if you will. The playtests are getting more and more common. As of late, the developers of Battlebit have been running playtests during multiple days of the week across multiple playtest sessions and times of day. Now, this is excellent because it means that there are more opportunities for all of us to get our mitts on the game and spend some more time on it, but the way I read it as well is that it also means that the development for the game is progressing well. The developers are making strides and are comfortable with the game being out for testing more frequently, and that they're able to afford the costs associated with the increased testing loads. Given the news that we covered in our last video about this game and the challenges that the developers were facing financially with this title, this is a great step in the right direction, given that, yeah, the server infrastructure for this game is expensive and the developers made it very clear that this was a challenge to overcome. Given that the goal is to get the game out to early access, which means the servers will be online 24/7, during some time in early 2023, this is a great step in the right direction and proves that that goal may actually be achievable. But with the increase in testing frequency, we've also seen the developers begin to expand not only the features of the game, but also the experiences that are on offer. The 64 vs 64 and 32 vs 32 player servers are starting to come online, offering new experiences and more tactical options to the table when compared against the rather chaotic 127 vs 127 player modes. While the larger scale 127 vs 127 player mode is definitely the selling point of Battlebit Remastered for most people, there's certainly something to be said about the smaller scale mode, where individual actions tend to have more impact on the overall flow of a match. And don't get me wrong, I personally love the 127 vs 127 mode for a fun, somewhat casual shooting gallery experience. You know, more often than not, wherever I look, there'll be something to shoot, and that just keeps my monkey brain satisfied. I think Battlebit is definitely the best on the market right now for providing that sense of being in a quote-unquote army as you push out from your initial spawn and charge from objective to objective, at least in a non-simulation-esque shooting style. However, I also have to say that I am really enjoying the smaller scale modes for a more methodical experience, if you will. Battlebit's foundations are so solid where it doesn't rely on the spectacle of its larger scale modes to sell the experience alone. You know, the core gunplay, the core movement, the class system, the vehicle play even, all of which can be very easily catered to a smaller experience without losing its charm and its value, which is a huge selling point for the game itself in my opinion and will take it very far going forward. So it's good to see the developers, despite their love for their chaotic 127 vs 127 game mode, embrace the smaller scale experiences and cater to those players as well. Alongside the smaller scale modes, I also had a chance to check out the new Metro map, which I hadn't had a chance to play up until now, and it really did take me back to those good old Operation Metro days from Battlefield 3. It was nothing short of a giant clusterfuck, but I had some serious fun with it. It's certainly not going to be everybody's cup of tea, however, and that was very reflective in the game's in-game chat, if you will, but the developers are very clearly aiming to provide an ecosystem of experiences that people can pick up and choose from, so clearly it's okay if this map shows up from time to time, or if some people prefer the map and others don't. That's the joy of a game that can provide said ecosystem. As far as the core gameplay is concerned, we've seen some pretty cool amendments come here as well, which is great to see. Even with how solid the core experience of the game is already, the developers are still taking the time to continue building on the functionality of the game and just giving us a feature-rich game that we can sort of mold to work for us. The most recent addition to the game's core functionality was the magazine refilling or magazine combining mechanic, depending on how you look at it. As we've discussed in the past, this game uses an ammunition per magazine system as opposed to an ammunition pool when it comes to your reloads and your leftover rounds. You don't just pull ammunition out of an ammunition pool whenever you reload. No, you cycle through magazines, and if you fire rounds from a magazine and then reload that magazine, it retains the ammo count that you left it with. And as you cycle through said magazines, means you'll work your way back to that half full mag eventually. It's a cool system that makes you really think about your reload timing and challenges you to kind of make the most of each magazine as best you can. However, there's now a cool feature that lets you somewhat combine the ammunition from different half-full magazines to create a more complete magazine. Something that I wasn't expecting to see come to this game, but something that is such a cool addition that gives more power to the player. It's a great feature that has a meaningful place in the game and kind of acts as a solution to a problem I didn't even know I had until now. Great stuff. There's also been a ton of work on the back end here as well, which involves optimization, reworking the voxel system, and the implementation of DDoS protection gear, which, truth be told, has been very, very welcome. But truth be told, a lot of the technical stuff goes way over my head, so I won't even attempt to get into it into this video at all. But just know that the game is getting some love on the technical side of things as well, to ensure that everything is above board for the release, which I always appreciate, even if my simple monkey brain doesn't understand it that well. And those are some of the highlights that I've taken from the most recent playtest, but now let's look to the future. What does Battlebit Remastered's future actually look like in this highly competitive first-person shooter space? Well, in the immediate future, we know that a new map is coming to the game, which has been teased by the developers via this cheeky image. As we can see, it's going to be a snow map, which will be a nice change of scenery for the game, and the upcoming helicopters also make an appearance in the background as well. Personally, I'm very excited to see how these vehicles change the game and the flow of matches, but, you know, we'll see how it plays. In addition, one of the game's developers, The Liquid Horse, who has been stopping by our streams a lot lately, so big shout out to him there, shared this screenshot on the Battlebit Discord, hinting that this was the first piece of quote-unquote super secret content that he was working on. I'm not sure what this means yet, but my attention has certainly been captured, that's for sure. And that's all we know so far. But given that the game is on its way to early access, rapidly so, I just wanted to take a moment to really put out an appreciation piece for this game and how much of a breath of fresh air it has been in this first-person shooter space as of late. Some of you may remember the recent video that I did on the first-person shooter gaming sort of genre at the moment and the state it's in, and the crux of that video is that things have never really been worse. A lot of shooter games now feel uninspired, they feel lacking, they feel half-assed, they feel rushed to release, just a whole bunch of stuff that has made the first-person shooter genre as of late a bit of a chore to get through, which sucks as a first-person shooter player like myself. So when I see a game like Battlebit Remastered come onto the field and start challenging the AAA developers out there when it comes to quality of the gameplay experience, yeah, safe to say I'm hopeful that this game takes off. There is already a very dedicated community around it, and every time you jump into a game of Battlebit Remastered and you just read the overall game chat and listen to the proximity chat, which is one of the best features of this game, you hear the excitement, you hear the passion from the people that are playing it, and just how happy they are to see a game that's very clearly taking the time it needs to be good, and is also focusing on the things that make first-person shooter games so enjoyable. So as we meander our way into 2023 here, all I can say is that I am extremely hopeful for the success of Battlebit Remastered. I genuinely believe that this game could take over the Steam charts if it's released in the right state. The developers are just going to make sure that they get it there. And based on their track record, I'm pretty confident they're going to get it there. So yes, I truly believe that this is a game that you should well and truly have your eyes on for 2023 and put it on your wish list. Hell, maybe even go and support the game over on Patreon, which essentially acts as an early access pre-order should you wish to get into this game as fast as you can. And as somebody who hates the pre-order culture that gaming has thrown itself into nowadays, that's a recommendation I don't make lightly. So yeah, this game is winning a lot of tickets in my book. So folks, that right there is Battlebit Remastered and where it stands at currently. As you can probably tell from this video and from all my previous videos on this game to this date, yeah, I'm excited for this game. It's a game that I play at every given opportunity that I have, and it will be a game that I'll be maining like nobody's business when it comes out, which means that, yep, if you're interested in Battlebit Remastered content, you should get subscribed right here, right now to stay up to date with that in the future. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, it does go a long way to supporting the channel, and leave your thoughts down below if you've played Battlebit or if you've not yet. Are you looking forward to playing it? Or if you have played it, how are you liking the game so far? Once again guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care guys, have a good one.